Hi, I'm Sailor. Gotta get out of the way. Hi, I'm Sailor Moon, and I'm Sailor Pluto. And today we're going to talk about homosexuality in Sailor Moon. Well, I know that that's a Helleny barred word, learned word. If there's an English word for it, I don't know. I might have to look it up. Anyway, why we're talking about this is that in Sailor Moon there are folks that are that way. You know, I mean, let's look at the first show. You had Zoiphyte and Quinfight, or Malachite and Zoisite. Anyway, whatever names you want to use. And yes, they are what they are, and all the other takes of Sailor Moon they are. But in the deep take, it's a male and female. Now, some folks out there were going to say that some folks out there would seek wrong with that, and they would say that it was something bad that was done. Well, back then, and I'm not going back then, if you were that way, or if you weren't, but you were playing some selfhood it was something bad. It was something back then that if it was on the far seer, or you know, then it was or in the film it wasn't good. Now today there's more understanding, and folk are more tolerant and more understanding of that sort of thing and accepting of it, but back then they weren't. And most bearers didn't think it was something that should be on the force here. Now, it didn't matter if Zoisite and Quinfight or Malachite and Zoisite did anything. No, they didn't. They really did not do anything. But just the truth that they were that was enough for Deep to have to, shift what kind they were, which wasn't that bad, you know. Now let's move over to season 2, but show 2 and show 3. But around show 3, you had Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune, Laura Michelle, and yes, even though they didn't do anything, once again they had to be shifted around and had to be called nearkin. Now, even though that may have worked to explain their closeness, it really did not. It really didn't. It was not really that good of a shift. They had to come up with something, but it wasn't really good of a shift. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. It really wasn't really good thing, the shift that Pioneer did, but I guess at that point, some of the Sailor Moon fans that were followers that were watching it were a little grown up at that point, but still, Pioneer didn't want to get in a hang up, downside, or bind with some folks out there that felt it was bad, when it is not bad. And then you go to the fourth show, and you had Fisheye. Now, not to a lot of other takes on Sailor Moon, Fisheye was a cross-dresser. Well, once again, even though there was nothing wrong with that sort of thing, once again, there were some folks out there that thought it was wrong, so Fisheye had to be a woman. Now, regardless of what some believe out there, it really wasn't that bad what was done in Sailor Moon. There were other Farseer shows and films out there at the time that really got more shift done to them. And a lot of folks out there actually believe that, this was some kind of whatever, shaming, and it wasn't. Now, Sailor Moon's out now, and folks would be more understanding of it. There'd be more learning going on and more accepting of it. Yeah, you're right, Sarah Pluto. If it came back now, I think a lot more folks would be okay with it. But back then they weren't, so that's why the shifts had to be made the way they were made. Now, were they right shifts? It depends on who you talk to. But anyway, apparently it was but no, we're not finished yet. Go to the fifth season. Go to the last show, Sailor Moon, Sailor Stars, and you'll see that there were two women and one man as far as the Sailor Starlights went. But when they shifted, they had to get female body parts put on. So that would put another hang up, downside, and bind. How was Pioneer going to handle that one? And the truth was they didn't handle it. It never got worked on. I mean, it is going to get its first English run. That's true. But that's as far as it went. So if the other shows before it had to be shifted in some way, imagine how the shift would have to be and how they'd have to tell that one. So, yeah. No, this is talking about why it was in it. Well, I guess it was a part of their world. It was a part of everyone's world, But I guess it was, lifelike that there would be folks out there who were like that. So I guess that's why Nako Takiguchi decided to do that with some of her Southwoods. Yeah, there are folks out there who are like that. So it would be lifelike to make up some folks who are like that. But at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is, It's more accepting these days. More folks are more understanding of it and more accepting of it. But back then, there really wasn't that. But back then there was. But if it was on a kid show, then it was, saw to be something that was bad. When we all know it's not bad, So anyway, that's it for me. That's all we're going to talk about here, Sarah Pluto says. Hope you all like this movie. Let us know what you think about it, about the shifts that were done, and how it was and how do you think, if you think it was handled right. And that's about it. Sailor Moon, Sarah Pluto, see you later.